Hello and welcome to Quartzlight, your car brochure channel, and today's Saturday special we're going to look at a special edition SAAB 900. Welcome back, and if you're new to Quartzlight, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube looking at cars from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s in car brochure form. So if you're interested in cars and car brochures, please consider subscribing. Anyway, back to today's episode. We're up to 1985. I know the 80s is a lot of people's favourite sort of decade on this channel. 70s, 80s, I think that's where most people like viewing cars from, it appears anyway. If not, or if you've got a favourite decade, please jot that in the comments, see what everyone's views are. But like I said, 85, when SAAB were making great cars, and in fact in 1985 that's when I was really an enthusiast for SAABs. I loved them. It's very sad that SAAB is no longer making fantastic cars or making any sorts of cars at all. In fact, back then in 1985 they made extremely well built solid vehicles, and in fact this particular brochure is a special edition brochure. Saturdays, we call it the Saturday special. We're looking at a special edition brochure for various different makes and models. Today is the turn of this SAAB 900 Jubilee model, celebrating 25 years in Great Britain. So anyway, let's have a look at today's brochure. So here is today's brochure. It's kind of like in card form actually, rather than paper form. Big proud SAAB symbol down the bottom there, and this great SAAB model, the 900 injection Jubilee model, it says, to celebrate 25 years of SAAB in Great Britain. However, the Jubilee, it wasn't called the SAAB 900 injection Jubilee. That wasn't the special edition name. This was the special edition name, so let's just zoom in on that. So the special edition name was in Swedish, strangely. Yeah, it kind of like matches the car, I guess, because it is a Swedish manufacturer, but it's a word I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. This is actually a J, this letter here, so Tjugofem. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that in Swedish, so I'm not going to even try. But basically, translating this from Swedish to British, this means 25. So basically, it's the SAAB 900 injection 25, celebrating 25 years in Great Britain, like I say. Anyway, let's have a look at the main image. And there we go, there's the main image back in the days when SAAB were SAABs, before GM messed it all up. Really well built, solid cars, a bit like tanks. And I think back then it was even a kind of like a love it or hate it car. I know a lot of people back then said, oh, they're too old fashioned, but I always loved these cars, I must admit. You can see it's got features such as a steel sliding sunroof on there, body coloured door mirrors, these unusual alloy wheels, and these typical SAAB mud flaps. You even got one kind of like just after the door here, not only to stop spray coming up, but also to prevent, rust, I guess. A lot of water getting through there with water spray, etc. You can see these big impact absorbing bumpers on there, headlamp wipe, of course, to wipe away the Swedish snow. And then if we go to the back, I'll just zoom in on the back as well. You got this bit of a pinstripe going down there, and again this Swedish word for 25 at the back there. And we even got this little bit of a boot spoiler, almost like a turbo style boot spoiler at the back, although it wasn't a turbo model, it was the 900 injection. I always liked these wipers as well. Unusual pattern for the wipers, unusual way the bonnet opened, tilting forward. Everything about these cars was always like solid, well built, and they always did things a little bit different, with a little bit of a zoom in on the front there. You can make out them wipers a bit clearer now, and that colour coordinated grille. These all came in silver, by the way. That's the only colour you can actually get them in. This one's showing as a B registration, which makes sense to say it's a 1985 special edition. Don't know if this is a genuine plate or You know, I've not looked this up, but it'd be nice to see if that's still around. Was that number one? They did 300 units of these. I wonder if that was number one. I wonder if that's in some kind of museum. I don't know. If you do know, jot that down. Like I said, I do like these alloy wheels actually, these sort of turbo style alloy wheels, and I guess this is a bit of a spoiler, slightly different than the standard model as well, maybe an extra bit of a lip on there, but overall a nice looking car. And you know, back then, like I say, you had people who was really into Saabs, and really a lot of people who said they looked really old fashioned and wouldn't have them if there was the last car on earth. But a well-made car when Saab made well-made cars. Okay, let's just zoom back now, and we've seen the picture. Well, let's turn the page. Let's see a few more bits and pieces we can't really see on the main image to see what extra this particular unusual Jubilee model had. And then on the back page, and yeah, it's just like a 2-page card type thing they would have got on the dealership at the time. Again, we've got this Swedish word for 25 again. We've got this unusual gear knob, which will zoom in, and some of this text as well. I think we'll start by looking at the text, then we'll come to zoom in on what sort of details you got on these special editions on this gear knob. And here's a detail about this special edition. To celebrate its 25th anniversary, Saab Great Britain Limited has commissioned a limited 300 unit edition of the SAAB 900 injection Jubilee model, all in metallic silver. Based on the sporty 900 injection 2-door model, and in addition to an already high standard of equipment, this limited edition carries extra specification as follows. So a reasonably spec'd special edition, this one. It got quite an extensive list of little features it got on here, surprisingly. I mean, I think, you know, it would have been quite a desirable Saab to have back in the day. Yeah, you'd want the turbo possibly, but this is a nice, bit of a special Saab 900, I think. It had things like a turbo styled alloy wheel, which we had a look at a moment ago, that steel sunroof that we saw. It also got electric windows, electric mirrors, tinted glass, black window, door handle surrounds, luxury block pattern velour upholstery. I always like velour upholstery actually. Rear centre armrests, rear head restraints, front centre console, uprated shock absorbers. We also got a colour keyed grille, front and rear turbo type spoilers, mirrors, roof gutter end mouldings, side and rear unique stripe treatments. You couldn't have a special edition without a unique stripe treatment, really, could you? And then this number 1 of 300 limited edition gear knobs with sterling silver insert, and then finally a rear red reflector panel. I think the only thing about this brochure really is I wish it had more images, a bit more like what Ford used to do at the end of the 70s, early 80s, maybe a smaller brochure but with more pictures. Interior picture would have been nice, rear picture would have been nice as well, just to see the difference on the back as well. But there we go, certainly a Saab that was a little bit different. But anyway, this is what you sort of get on the gear knob there. Little Saab badge at the top there, what number it is. This one says 1 of 300. And Silver Jubilee 1985. I wonder how many of those 300 are still on the roads today. And then right at the bottom of this particular leaflet, we've got the Saab again, and then the little bit of address of what was Saab Great Britain Limited. So there we go, the SAAB 900 injection Jubilee model to celebrate that 25 years in Great Britain, and that unusual Swedish word that I have not even tried to pronounce because I wouldn't know where to begin, and I would make a complete mess of it, but it meant 25. It's strange though, isn't it? Because it was celebrating 25 years in Great Britain. You would think it would have a British name there. Is that wrong of me to think? Or even just a 25? But I don't know. I suppose it was Swedish. Nice to see a Swedish word on there, but I'm sure nobody could understand it. But anyway, it's nice to visit these cars that are very much forgotten now. Wonder how many of these special editions are still around. Kind of like would hope number 1 would be tucked away somewhere safely. but who knows what the other 299 of these examples happened to them. Wonder if any of them are left. Like I say, if you've not done so already, please do like and subscribe. That really helps the channel, and appreciate those who have already done that, of course. Many more episodes to come in the near future. Hope your weekend is going fantastic, and I hope it continues to do so. So for now, we'll say take care, all the best, and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.